Right guys, we are live. You are very welcome to Monday night's late night agenda. I'm your host Craig. This is a Liverpool Football Club chat show and as always it's your show. Tonight guys, there is lots for us to get through. I do have a couple of things that I want to bring up and the first topic I want to talk about, I'll wait till people get in the chat, but the first topic I want to talk about, it's a little bit sensitive, so bear with us while the chat fills up. Obviously we'll be having a look ahead as well to the Reds game against Napoli on Wednesday. We'll be talking a little bit about young Trent Alexander-Arnold, who was up for the FIFA Golden Boy Award. Sounds weird saying that phrase, Golden Boy, by the way, but look, it is what it is. We'll also have a little talk about Alisson Becker. There's been a little bit of chatter in the media about him and stuff. A little talk about Daniel Sturridge. Lots and lots and lots for us to get through as always, because with the season at the point it is, it's busy already. So there's so many topics for us to get through as Reds. I'm just going to wait for everybody to come in. I can see Stephen Taggart is in the chat. Stephen, how are you, mate? Great to have you with us. I do have something pretty big I want to start off with tonight, so I want to wait for the chat to fill up a little bit. It's a topic I want to treat sensitively as well, because it's not an easy topic to talk about, but I feel as a football YouTube channel it is kind of our place to talk about these things, so bear with us. The white Garth Brooks, I'll take the white Garth Brooks, there you go. Tomorrow never comes and all that stuff. Great mate, how are you? I'm great, thank you Stephen. Great to have you back with us, mate. Great to have you in as well, Liam. This is going to be a packed show tonight. I really have put up a good agenda with lots of stuff to talk about. This is the part of the show where we're just waiting around for people to come in. Laura as well, hello. Jaden, hello, my name is Jaden, said Laura. It's always weird on here, there's people coming in on their girlfriends' accounts and stuff like that, and it's tough for us to remember names. But Jaden, how the hell are you, mate? Great to have you back with us. Right guys, I'm just going to have a quick sip of my drink and then I'm going to get straight into what I came on to talk about tonight. Right guys, so here we go. As I said, the first topic I wanted to talk about was a little bit sensitive, so bear with me. Okay, I can see a few more in. Right guys, here we go. As I said, the first topic I wanted to have a chat about tonight is a little bit sensitive. So German magazine Der Spiegel has published a story that a lady named Catherine Mayorga, 34 years of age, has accused Cristiano Ronaldo of raping her in a Las Vegas hotel room in June 2009. Now I have to be clear, all I'm going to be doing here is reading facts from the media, stories that have been published. I'm not in any way going to give my personal opinion. I don't believe it's my place to do that. We are a YouTube channel, we talk about football. I believe this is a subject we need to put out there into the world and let people know about. So just to reiterate, a German magazine called Der Spiegel has published a story from a lady named Catherine Mayorga, 34 years of age. Catherine Mayorga claims that Cristiano Ronaldo raped her in a Las Vegas hotel room in 2009. The magazine reported that the pair reached an out-of-court settlement for $375,000. Part of that out-of-court settlement was, of course, an NDA, which meant that Miss Mayorga or her lawyer couldn't discuss the details of the incident with anybody whatsoever. They also reported that Mrs. Mayorga's lawyer has filed a civil complaint to declare the non-disclosure agreement, the NDA that we spoke about a moment ago, void. He told the magazine that the purpose of this lawsuit is to hold Cristiano Ronaldo responsible in a civil court of law for the injuries he caused Catherine Mayorga and the consequences of those injuries. So again, I'm just taking this from published articles, folks. This isn't a story that we made up here on our channel. This is just stuff I'm pulling from other sources, and I want to put out there to you guys and see how you're feeling. The story continues, so there's a little bit more on this one. Ronaldo's lawyer, of course it's only fair that Cristiano Ronaldo on his side get mentioned in this as well, because we want to be completely fair and non-biased in this conversation. So Cristiano Ronaldo's lawyer in a statement said, "It violates the personal rights of our client Cristiano Ronaldo in an exceptionally serious way. This is an inadmissible reporting of suspicions in the area of privacy. It would therefore be unlawful to reproduce this reporting. We've been instructed to immediately assert all existing claims under press law against Spiegel, in particular compensation for moral damages in an amount corresponding to the gravity of the infringement, which is probably one of the most serious violations of personal rights in recent years." So as you can see there, Cristiano Ronaldo and Cristiano Ronaldo's legal team are very serious about this. They're willing to take this as far as they can. I don't want to talk again about what's right and what's wrong here. It's not my place. All I can report again is that there was an NDA signed. There's a report that there was a figure of $375,000 paid to Miss Spiegel in order to sign this NDA and not mention the incident. But there's one more party in this, and that is, of course, Der Spiegel, the magazine in Germany that published the article. The magazine's deputy editor told Reuters, "We've sent written questions to Ronaldo's management and lawyers about the allegations, to which there were no answers. Nobody sued us in connection with earlier Ronaldo reports." So guys, look, this is not an easy topic to talk about. At a time where we had the Me Too movement and we had women being disrespected and women being sexually abused and assaulted around the world, this is not an easy subject to discuss. So it's not one that I'm even going to try and take a side on. I'm going to remain completely neutral on it. But because Cristiano Ronaldo is one of the biggest people in sports in the world, I felt it only right that we mention this on the stream. As I said, not going to take a side. I'm going to leave it up to you guys in the chat to give me your opinion on it. As a channel, we just wanted to bring you guys that story. I'm sure that there'll be more on this in the future, that Cristiano Ronaldo in this case will carry on until its conclusion. But for us here at Anfield Agenda, we're not going to take a side on this one. Just want to be completely neutral and let you guys know about the story. Now, we'll move ahead to Liverpool topics, or before that I'll just jump into the chat to see how you're all feeling about the Ronaldo story. She's after the money. Is Craig a bit too orange, yes or no? Said Connor. Look, he's gone straight in there with the sly digs as well. Is Craig a bit too orange? Calling me fucking Craig Trump, is that what he's trying to do? She's after the money, said Liam. The thing is, Liam, she was paid 375 grand in dollars, so there's no doubt that there was money handed over there, if the story is to be believed and the publications to be believed. Craig's an Oompa Loompa, said Thomas Boland. I don't know how to take that one, Tom, not going to lie. Hey Craig, how long have you been on? Just a couple of minutes. At least we now know that Ronaldo isn't gay, said Liam. Although I wouldn't say that that proves anybody's homosexuality or not, either way. Craig's been on the sunbed. Absolutely have not. We've just fucked around with the settings on the computer to make me look a bit less pale. Highly doubt he done it. In 2009, Ronaldo's probably looking his best, growing as the world's best, could get any bird that he wants. Well, in 2009, mate, let's remember, again, I'm not saying yes or no to this because I've no idea, but in 2009, let's remember that the lady in question was 25 years of age, if we're going back 9 years, and I have no idea what this lady looks like because I haven't googled images of her. It's not for me to say. Craig, if he's done nothing wrong, why did he pay her in 2009, said Stephen. This is something that many people are going to ask. Why, if nothing was done wrong, did perhaps he pay the non-disclosure or the money for the non-disclosure agreement? Having never been in that position and having never had to pay or be part of a non-disclosure agreement, I can't give my opinion on it. I don't know. There could have been a number of reasons why it was done. It may not have actually been done. Again, this is going by what's reported. This was published in a lot of big outlets, I have to say. So I'm not just pulling this from some bullshit German magazine. I don't want to name names where this was published. Have a little look around, you can see for yourself. Some big players in the news media have covered this story. Raptor said, even though what's going on then? Is that your car, sir? I don't know what the fuck that means. If I was Ronaldo or the complainant, I would be wanting my team to provide any evidence, said Anthony Peters. I'm sure both sides will have evidence. Again, this will play out maybe in the media, maybe behind closed doors, none of us know. It's a serious allegation. That's one thing we can't shy away from here. To be accused of rape is a very serious allegation. Of course, you have to treat both sides carefully. I'm not a lawyer, I don't know how these things go down. Thankfully, I've never been involved in such a situation. I don't know what to say. It's very tricky. I have to be so careful about what I say here. I have the height of respect for women. I don't even want to think about a scenario where any woman has to go through anything like that. And I'm not saying again that Cristiano Ronaldo did it. It's just one of these subjects that I'm not qualified to talk about in depth. I spoke about it with mental health before. It's not something I should be doing. I just wanted to bring you guys the facts, and they were only the facts from what I've been reading in published articles around the world. So I just wanted to read you. I say facts the published facts. That's all I can say on that one. Enough on Ronaldo, lads. I turned down the new contract, said Nabil Fekir. I don't know why you did that, Neil. I mean, surely Nabil, you could have done with a bit of extra wage, my friend, surely. Craig, if Ronaldo's innocent, so is Trump. Shame, shit, different shovel. Because I'm coming to Anfield, Nabil said. There you go. Our very own Nabil. Someday we could find out that this is the Nabil Fekir. He could be on here on a wind-up. He could let us know. He could sign for Liverpool. Send us over an signed shirt, which I hope you do, Nabil, by the way. If you send us a shirt, we'll give it away. Is he letting us know here? You know, is he hiding in plain sight? Is this our own Nabil Fekir here in the chat, guys? Can you imagine? I often wonder, and we spoke about this before, I often wonder about some people who may or may not be in the chat at times, or who may or may not be watching. When we did podcasts, we were told that certain people had listened to them. I don't want to name names on that, but it freaks the shit out of you when you know that some people you look up to or respect have perhaps listened or at least know that what you've done exists. But yeah, imagine if that wasn't a bit. Look, it's not, but fucking scenes if it was though. Sorry, Craig, not on too long. I know you explained it before, but what's going on with Ronaldo? Again, just really at the facts really quickly. A German magazine called Der Spiegel has published a story from a lady named Catherine Mayorga, who's 34 years of age. The lady in question has accused Cristiano Ronaldo of raping her in a Las Vegas hotel room in June 2009. Again, that's just a very short version of this. I don't want to go any further on it. I only mention it again because Ben asked what we were talking about. So we'll leave that at that with Cristiano Ronaldo, and we'll leave it to people far more qualified to talk about it. I just wanted to let you guys know it was something that I read and I thought is serious enough that we should have a little chat about it. Can't wait for the City game. Sorry, Craig, not too long on. I already read that one. What I hate is these allegations always favour the victim. Not saying she's made this up or anything, but it's easy to claim rape and near impossible to prove otherwise, said Connor. Ben said, or Connor said, nah, Nabil is Ben, it's been exposed. On to Wednesday, guys. Scores. Right, there's something else we have to have a chat about from a purely Liverpool standpoint here, guys. You know, stuff that we really want to have a chat about. Number 2 on Craig's big list. So, good news. Good news that Trent Alexander-Arnold has been shortlisted on a list of 40 players for this year's is a FIFA Golden Boy Award. I think this is an award that Raheem Sterling has won previously. Now, again, this award will be cut down to 20 players and the winner will be chosen in December. So, congratulations to Trent on that one. Great to have him nominated. Down to the last 40 for the FIFA Golden Boy Award. And this is a very prestigious award, guys. This is one that there's been some amazing winners of over the year. Off the top of my head, as I said, I think Raheem Sterling has won it. I don't want to guess actually at some more because you know me and my facts. I'm forever wrong when I'm trying to remember stuff. But again, it'll be brought down to the final 20 next month. And then the winner will be crowned in December. So fingers crossed. He's up against some tremendous talents from around the world, of course. But how brilliant is it again to see a Liverpool player, a young Liverpool player, Trent Alexander-Arnold, 19 years of age, shortlisted for the FIFA Golden Boy Award. So congratulations to Trent on that one. And fingers crossed that he can go all the way. Scenes if he does. I mean, how fucking amazing would that be? But brilliant. Congratulations to Trent on being nominated. I want to go into the chat and see how you guys feel about this one because I'm sure there's lots of you who want to say congratulations to Trent, give your opinions on it. And let's just celebrate because it's another good thing for the football club and another good thing for this young man in a year that has seen him make his international debut, go to a World Cup, play in a Champions League final, start the season in a team that are top of the Premier League, and now get nominated for the Golden Boy Award. So congratulations, Trent Alexander-Arnold. Very well deserved, young man, and may you continue to progress and go forward, and you never know, one day maybe captain this magnificent football club. Right, guys, so how does everybody else in the chat feel? How are you guys feeling about Trent? Are we happy? Craig, that man who does the shy version of Anfield Agenda is a bell end, said Stephen Richards. If you're talking about Gark Mulbridge, then yes, he absolutely is a bell end. We spoke about this many, many times. Sometimes he speaks some truth. Sometimes he does make good points when he's speaking about his own club. I find at times he can make relevant points, but once he starts trying to criticise other fan bases and stuff, he just does it for attention. You know, he just jumps up and down like a petulant fucking child. But sometimes Mr. Molebridge, because I'm not going to use his real name, you guys know that. I like to call him Gark Molebridge. Cameron is in the chat. Cameron, how the hell are you, sir? Great to have you with us. There's nothing wrong with being orange, said Ben. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, if James Milner can have a Ribena berry, why can't I perhaps be Robinson's orange? I mean, I'm just trying to take after Jimmy here. Now, sometimes you guys can probably see when I have a white light that's behind the camcorder that we do this on, and it's a ring light, and sometimes it can just be so harsh it makes me look sick and pale. So I said to Connor before we came on tonight, buddy, any chance you could jump on there, fuck around with the filters on the laptop and see if you can make me look a little bit less like I'm about to drop dead any moment. And thankfully he did. Whether I look a bit too orange, no, I don't mind. I'd rather look a bit too orange than a bit too about to drop dead. Right, where else are we? What else have we got? Sorry Craig, not too long on. I know you explained it before, just gone through that one. Can't wait for the City game. It's going to be a hell of a game, said Red Tick Gaming. We'll have a little chat about that one again a little bit further on in the stream. It's going to be a belter. It really is going to be a belter of a game. On to Wednesday. Guys, scores on the doors. Anthony Peters wants to know. Again, it is on the agenda, Anthony, mate. I will get on to the Napoli game very soon, don't worry. Craig, looks like I'm going to Anfield next June to see Take That. Louise loves them. Brilliant, mate. You go enjoy it. I am a cheesy pop merchant, buddy, so you're not going to get any stick out of me for going to see Take That. I have been known to lash out a Backstreet Boys tune in my day when I was drunk, so I'm not going to slag anybody that goes to fucking that goes to a Take That concert. My first concert, you will not get a cheesier concert ever. It's so cheesy, in fact, that I'm going to keep it to myself. But let me tell you, your Take That concert would look rather fucking up to date if I told you who my first concert was. Now, I was dragged there by my L1, but at the same time, it's a very fucking cheesy concert. So, you go to Anfield, mate. I'm hoping to get over to Anfield next summer myself from a non-footballing perspective because I want to see Callum Smith defend his new world title over there. I hope to God he gets to go ahead to fight at Anfield, and I will be there. Come hell or high water, I will be there cheering on Callum Smith because I've spoken of my admiration for the Smith brothers and the Smith family. An amazing group of people. They do fantastic work for autism, fantastic ambassadors for the city of Liverpool, and of course for boxing. So if Callum gets the fight, Craig's going over without a doubt. I'll drag Connor with me as well. I'll drag him over whether he likes it or not. Don't even know if Connor's much of a boxing fan, but any excuse to get him to Anfield. We'll do a live stream of it. We'll try and make work out of it somehow. I'll call him that we need to do something for work, so he has to come over. Craig, what make of top is that? Oh, you're gonna hate me. You're gonna hate me. I've gone against everything that I've ever done before. Look, it's Nike. It's not Adidas, it's Nike. Oh, scenes. Craig's wearing a Nike top for once. I know. It's getting cold. When it's getting cold, you got to put the hoodies on, go to the wardrobe, and they're Nike, they're Reebok. There's a few Adidas ones in there as well, but I should hang my head in shame, shouldn't I? Sitting here singing the virtues of Adidas for months, and then he comes on in a Nike hoodie. Oh, I feel embarrassed. What have I just walked in on? Fucking Take That, said Pepper Red. We're just having a sing along, mate. It's your turn next, so give us your best one. Give us your best Take That song. Go on, belt out a tune for us. A mate of mine was going to call his band Take This years ago. I thought that was brilliant, said Raptor. Craig, if you think that's cheesy, I'm going to see Cliff Richard next Wednesday. Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner. Stephen Richards wins. Fucking Cliff Richard. My God. That is it, mate. You've won. There's nobody else need bother posting. Going to see Cliff Richard wins. You win the cheesy competition, mate. Fucking hell. Cliff Richard. Oh my God. Oh, fuck you, Connor. Connor's trying to wind me up. He said, I love me boxing. My favourite boxer is KSI. You fucking prick. Oh, I'd love to bitch slap him and that fucking Logan Paul and any other of those Pauls or whatever the fucking gobshite YouTubers think they can fight. Oh, Connor, fuck you. I think Callum will get the dream fight at Anfield. Would sell out in seconds. Hope you do a live stream. I won't be doing a live stream, and because I'll be there, so I'll be at the fight 100%. I'll do a post, or pre and post match video, absolutely 100%. But I'll be there. There'll be no doing live streams from home. If he gets that fight, I'm over to Anfield for that fight without a shadow of a doubt. I know Stephen's calling me a traitor. I know. I feel embarrassed, guys. I've let you all down wearing Nike, haven't I? Red Tick Game would say Klopp spoke about Salah and was going a long way that every player struggles. He's a top player. He needs time to show that Klopp is not Jose. He criticises players publicly. You're spot on, Red Tick Game, and you were absolutely spot on. Jurgen Klopp has spoken about Mohamed Salah, and he's right. All players do go through these difficult periods, and we spoke about this on the stream the other night. It's up to us now as fans. The manager has shown his faith in Mohamed Salah. It's up to us to show our faith and get behind the player. We know what he's capable of. Think of the memories and the moments he gave us last year. And even take him aside, take his antics off the football field. Think of what he does for the community. How many times he stands around signing autographs for young kids. I remember in Dublin for the Napoli game, Mohamed Salah was walking around the ground after the game, signing photos for kids, or taking photos, signing jerseys, talking to kids. He was there for, it must have been half an hour, maybe longer. And he didn't stop until somebody from Liverpool actually came and told him that he had to go back inside. That's how much he enjoyed doing that stuff. So it's up to us now as fans, when perhaps Mohamed Salah isn't at his best, maybe starting to self-doubt a little bit. It's up to us to get behind him, to sing his name, to let him know we believe in him, to let him know that Liverpool fans have his back. As we've said, the manager has shown his faith. I'm sure the dressing room have shown theirs. It's up to us now as a fan base to let Mo know that we got his back. We know that he's going to turn this around. The important thing in this situation with Mohamed Salah is that he's getting into the right positions. How many times have you heard people or ex-strikers talk about this? They'd be more worried if the chances weren't falling to the player. But Mohamed Salah is, one, creating the opportunities. We've seen in the last couple of games he's made space for himself, gotten a shot away. But also he's stepped into the right spaces at the right time to receive a pass. Occasionally it's been the final ball that lets Liverpool down, and it hasn't just been Mohamed Salah that's been guilty of that. The entire front three have been guilty of it at times. So with regards to Mo, as we all said, get behind him, sing his name out loud, on social media, big him up, let him know we love him, because we know that the Mohamed Salah that was there last season is the Mohamed Salah that can come back. And when Mo starts firing, he starts sticking one in top bins, the cop's going to roar, things are going to go well, and Mo's going to feel right back at home, which I'm sure he does already. But as I said, it's up to us as fans to do it. It's quite easy to get behind somebody, to scream their name, to sing Mohamed Salah songs when things are going right. But we're not the best fans in the world for nothing. So when the man's perhaps not at the top of his game, it's up to us to get behind him. So if you're on social media, make sure you keep bigging him up. If you're making videos, keep bigging him up. Keep putting up those lovely images of him. Keep doing cool edits of him. Mo needs to know that Liverpool fans have got his back. We're thinking of him. We're there with him. And this whole you'll never walk alone stuff isn't just bullshit. Let's get behind our man and let him know quite how much we love him. And we'll see that Egyptian king back. We'll see that fella from last season sticking one in top corner. It's coming. Don't worry about it. Chill. Craig goes, at the Torino game, and Mane was about to take a pic for me. Just after he was about to go, he was forced in. Oh, fucking hell, mate. That must have been a killer. So sorry for that one, man. That must have been a killer. I hate when stuff like that happens, or when you're queuing for something and you're just about to get to the top and then the shutters come down, or they're sold out, or whatever it is you're queuing up for. Stephen Richards said, if you go to the boxing, I'll meet you there. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Pleasure. Maybe we can, if I'm going, Stephen, we can all arrange tickets in the same part of it. We can buy tickets and all sit together, if that's what people want, if they're going to go to the fighting. One thing is, I don't sit in the cheap seats though. Not to sound like a posh cunt. I mean, if I'm going to make the trip over, I'd like to get a decent seat. And I'm not talking about fucking ringside VIP £400. I'm not that mad. But a decent seat is not too much to ask for if you're going over to a fight. Fuck the doubters, Mo is the king of Egypt, said Stephen. Damn right he is. We fucking love Mo. Yep, but Real Madrid are also showing interest in Mo. Mo's not going to Real Madrid. Don't worry about it. Mo feels at home here. Mo loves it at Liverpool. He's not one of the South Americans that might have that draw to Real Madrid that might have been the club he wanted his entire life. Mo's happy. Don't worry about Real Madrid. Real Madrid aren't doing fucking great at the minute anyway. So he knows where he is the right place for him to be. So I wouldn't worry about Real Madrid showing interest. Real Madrid are going to put all their eggs in the Neymar basket next summer. That's where they're going to go. And if they can't get him, it'll be Kylian Mbappe, because they know there might be a little bit of pressure on Paris Saint-Germain. The investigation has been reopened into their finances, or well, at least it's been reevaluated. So Paris Saint-Germain are going to be under pressure. If there's any improprieties found, or if UEFA's investigation finds that they need to free up some money, then they may be forced to sell Kylian Mbappe or Neymar. And if they do, then that's where you're going to see Real Madrid come in. So I wouldn't be worried too much about Mo. Louis said Madrid don't even need him. Craig, Mo loves us and we love him. Damn right we do. Fucking right. Damn right. And he needs to feel that. He needs to know that as well. So it's up to us as fans to let him know that we're right behind him. Have I missed a few more comments? There we go. Craig, was that the Torino game? I've read that one. He gives you shirt to a young fan every game. Salah is class and he'll get past 25 Premier League goals, said Paul. Mo's current form not dissimilar to his form this time last year. No worries, said Anthony Peters. And that's true. Apart from his form, there was a period last year where we weren't great. We questioned Mane as well, if you remember this last year, and we were saying that he's not going to get decent numbers. I think Mane put up his best numbers goal-wise last year for Liverpool. And think of the performances he put in the Champions League, particularly away at Porto when he scored a hat-trick. So don't worry about it. It's still really early days in the season. All I'd say to Liverpool fans now is just enjoy all the positives. Don't let the negatives even creep into your head. No point in worrying about shit that hasn't happened, or shit that right now you've no control over. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy the team right now. What else have we got? Yeah, it's not going his way, but he's still brilliant and still 35 goals plus this season, said Stephanie Hopkins. Mo started slowly last season too. Maybe he just needs time to settle in after the summer, said Connor. 11 goals in 7 games between our front three, including Daniel Sturridge, said Junior. On Daniel Sturridge, actually, that's probably the best place for me to get on to the next topic I wanted to have a little chat about. So, Gareth Crooks. We spoke about Gareth Crooks the other day. We actually praised Gareth Crooks. If anyone doesn't know who Gareth Crooks is, he's a former professional footballer, works at the BBC now. And Gareth Crooks was talking about Liverpool goalkeeper Alisson Becker. I'll come back to the Danny Sturridge stuff soon. Excuse me, bear with me. He was talking about Liverpool goalkeeper Alisson Becker, and he said that Alisson Becker will be one of the greats. He's compared Alisson Becker to Ray Clements and Peter Shilton, other great goalkeepers of his era. So I want to know what you think about that one. I'll read you out what Gareth Crooks said. Having played with 3 of the greatest goalkeepers who ever lived, Gordon Banks, Peter Shilton and Ray Clements, I know what makes a great one. They were often unflappable. Once they put a pair of gloves on, they became as cool as ice. The same seems to be true of Alisson. The Brazilian international made 2 crucial saves from Willian in the opening exchanges of Liverpool's draw at Chelsea and kept out Eden Hazard later in the game. You clearly got what you paid for. So, guys, let me know what do you think of Mr. Crooks' comments. We praised him the other day for some kind words towards Liverpool, and once again, Gareth Crooks has come back and heaped praise on Liverpool's goalkeeper. We all, well, I in particular, I can't speak for everybody. I keep saying we all. I've no right to fucking speak for everybody. But I was over the moon when Liverpool signed Alisson this summer. He was the goalkeeper I've been screaming for months. Some people wanted us to go and get Oblak, but for me it was all about Alisson. So when we signed him, I didn't give a fuck what the fee was. It could have been 80 million. I still wouldn't have batted an eyelid because he was the right goalkeeper at the right time under the right manager. Do you think he'll go down as one of the greats? Is it far too early to say? A couple of people had doubts about him when he came in. A couple of people may still have doubts about him. What Gareth Crooks has said may be a little bit premature. I think if we're putting our realist heads on, that might be a little bit premature, but he's a professional footballer who, as he said, has worked with 3 of the best goalkeepers in the business during his time playing. So for him to heap such praise on Alisson, he clearly likes the look of what he sees. So Let me know your thoughts in the chat, guys. Is Alisson Becker going to go down as one of the greatest goalkeepers in the Premier League? What do you think of him? What have you made of his start? What's your favourite part of his game? Is there any parts of his game that you think he could improve on? Let us know. Lots and lots and lots of things to talk about with Alisson. And look, we don't need to bring up the Cruyff turn that he fucked up. We know. We don't need to talk about that one again. Let's bury that one. It happened. We move on. It was a mistake. And one that he seems to have clearly learned from, because he hasn't taken any chances over the last couple of games. So, go into the chat now. Want to see how everyone's feeling on this one. I love him. There's no doubt about that. You guys know I love Alisson. That pink shirt though, I'm not sold on that pink shirt just yet. And I'm a man who doesn't mind a bit of pink. But fuck me. I mean, you want to be walking out to I'm a Barbie girl. That's how pink that was. Even looking at it on the TV, I felt like I had to throw on a pair of shades. So, that aside, everything else about the dude I think is absolutely brilliant. I love a goalkeeper with a beard as well. Said this before. Something extra calming and reassuring for me about a goalkeeper with a beard. I've absolutely no idea why, but there just is, and I can't explain it. Kieran said, hey, I'm probably the only Chelsea fan here. You may well be. Kieran Bailey, mate, I honestly couldn't tell you. Sometimes we do get fans in from opposing clubs, mate, or other teams in the Premier League, but once everybody's polite and courteous in here, we welcome everybody. So Kieran, mate, welcome to the chat. Mo started slowly, we've done that one. Evening, my fellow Redmen, said Vinnie Johnson. Raptor said Kieran better behave then. Craig, I've to go, cheesy gigs, love Louise, won't watch the heavy stuff I like. Well, that's part of having a bird, mate. You have to do what you're told from time to time. Mo's really playing well, but his final decision making is not up there yet. He'll be back with a bang to bang his silencers. Van Aanholt's goal was good, said Louis. It was a fucking belter, mate, but it looked offside to me, if I'm being honest. I just caught it out of the corner of my eye. I didn't see the replays, but it looked offside to me. And if it was offside, then that's just another fucking decision that the officials have got wrong. And I'm not going to go on another rant about the officials in the Premier League. I feel like I'm in too good of a mood tonight to start ranting about the Premier League officials. Mo knows Liverpool suits his style of play. To be honest, Alisson has made an excellent start considering moving countries and how quick he's adapted. It's excellent. The only thing I'd say is just play it safe, but he might have learned from last time. True. You hope that he has. It seems that he has. I did say that when Alisson signed that you're going to get these mad moments. It's going to happen. The style of football that we're going to ask him to play and the risk that's involved at times. There's going to be a fuck up or two. All we can hope for, and in this occasion it happened, is that it doesn't affect the result. And thankfully on that occasion we got the 3 points. But you can't keep allowing these things to happen. You have to draw a line somewhere. We can't be critical of other goalkeepers in the past, and I can't just give Alisson a free pass because I really like him. I've got to be kind of fair in my analysis of him. So one mistake is sound, but you can't let it keep happening. But he has shown that he seems to have learned from it. Paul said Alisson has put the mistake behind him. His confidence in his ability is there to see. The Hazard goal, I saw a couple of people blame Alisson. What do you think? Said Kieran Bailey. Honestly, Kieran, mate, if we're talking about the one on Wednesday, that was against Mignolet, so no, we're not talking about that one. If you're talking about the one at the weekend, yeah, Kieran, being honest, mate, I think he could have done better. I have to be honest. I think he's made some amazing saves in the game and he's kept Liverpool in on occasion, but yes, hand on heart, I feel he probably should have kept out the goal. I'm not going to blame him. I'm not going to say it was a stupid mistake or he definitely should have saved it, but yeah, I felt more than likely he should have got a stronger hand to it or his foot to it. So I was a little bit disappointed. If I'm being honest, I was a little bit disappointed. The greats you'd expect to save those type of things. Look, people will disagree with me here. It's just my honest opinion on it. I try not to have red tinted glasses on all the time when I'm talking about the Reds. That's one that if you paused it, showed me the shot leaving his foot and told me where it was going to go, I would have said, you know what, the keeper should be getting down to that one. It wasn't in off the post. It wasn't curling away from him and back into goal. It was coming towards him and going away from goal. He should have probably got to it. He should have probably kept it out. The more I think about it, the more I'm saying, yeah, he probably should have kept it out. No goalkeeper was saving that Hazard goal, said Louis. Again, I don't know which one you're talking about, Louis. If you're talking about the one in the League Cup against Mignolet, then yes, I agree. It was past Mignolet before he knew what the fuck was going on. That was just a worldie from Eden Hazard from start to finish. Just an amazing goal that you just have to, clap, stand up and applaud, because it was just a moment of brilliance. Stephen said, Craig, think Bournemouth should be made to build a decent ground. I don't know, mate. They obviously meet the criteria that the Premier League have in place. I've never been to the ground, so it's not really my place to comment on it. It sounds good. I mean, they make a good fucking noise there, I'll say that for them. But I know it's by far the smallest ground. Is it something like 18,000, 20,000? Yeah, I know it's quite small. I have no idea the exact numbers, but as long as they keep meeting the Premier League's minimum requirements, then they probably won't. LFC_5 said, Man City have been beaten by the only good team they've played. We're on the same points and we've played Chelsea and Spurs. They've played Cardiff and Huddersfield. That's a couple of teams there that, they'd expect to be. And we've played, as you said, we've played Spurs and Chelsea. So yeah, we've had a couple of harder games, but let's not underestimate quite how good this Manchester City team are. Have we had the harder start? Yes, most definitely. But at the end of the day, we still have to put the points on the board. Everybody has to play everybody twice. I wouldn't take too much into account at the start both teams have had. I'd only worry about this game at the weekend and what result the Reds get. Fingers crossed it's 3 points, because that would put us in an absolutely fantastic position going into the international break. We'd be bouncing into that break. Senior Flamo said Van Aanholt was clearly offside. Would have been steamed if that happened to us in a decisive game. Get in VAR. I'd have lost my fucking mind if that had happened to us in a game, mate. I'm not joking. From what I've seen, it seemed to have been offside, and from what you guys are saying in the chat, haven't seen replays, it was offside. So I would lose my fucking nut if I was the manager and that happened. Thankfully, Bournemouth went on and got a winner, so it didn't cost them the 3 points. Pepper Red said Kieran Bailey, no one was to blame really, just good play from Hazard. The chip ALISSON done though, said Lindsay. That was fucking unbelievable, wasn't it? That really was just class. I must have watched that on a GIF, and I'm not going to exaggerate here, at least 100 times. That chip over, it was just a moment of brilliance. But a moment, if you were the gaffer, you would have a heart attack looking at that. Paul said Alisson versus Ederson, next week Firmino versus Jesus, and Fabinho versus Fernandinho as well. I mean, Brazilian versus Brazilian, left, right and centre there, Paul. I think in the Chelsea-Liverpool game, I think it was just 2 world-class goals. So Kieran. Sturridge's goal. Hazard's goal was very good. You've asked me, could I think the keeper have done better? Yes, but the whole movement for the goal and the build-up from Chelsea, the ball through, it was excellent. But as you rightly said, Daniel Sturridge's finish. Oh, what a strike. He had like probably 2 or 3 square feet of space he could put that ball into away from Kepa, and fucking hell, he nailed it top bins. So yeah, 2 great goals in that game. Shows the quality that was on the field. Kieran said, I said it before the season, I don't think City will win. Ben, I keep reading out Lindsay. I'm going to drill this into my head, mate. Ben said 4-1 versus City. Salah to score 2, Naby to score 1, Mane to score. Money grabbing knob. You guys know who that is, will score for City. Frankie make a good point here. Frankie make. I'm going to get a sentence together at some point. I'll manage to string a fucking sentence together. Frankie B has made a great point. He said that we've played both Spurs and Chelsea away as well, which are great fucking games to get out of the way. Absolutely. Nah, Sterling won't score at Anfield. Ben, he'll crumble. He always seems to, and that is true. He hasn't really showed up at Anfield since he's left. Every time he's come back, he's had a bit of a mare, and long may that continue. Louis said, I'm still going Manchester City, but I'm impressed with Chelsea. But what happens when Hazard doesn't score? Chelsea probably need to get a striker in January. Morata is useless. On the Morata thing, look, it's easy, and we've said he's been useless, but he's a good footballer. There was a player in there in Alvaro Morata. His fucking first name always catches me out. There's a player in there in Morata, and if they can get him back firing, it will take a lot of pressure off the team, a lot of pressure off Eden Hazard. And look, I'm a Liverpool fan. I don't want Chelsea to do well, of course, but he's a very good player, and the fact his confidence is so low it's shocking. It's shocking, and it just shows how bad the previous regime has been for his man management. Conte must have just done nothing with the dude, and he had him previously. So I don't understand why Morata's confidence is so low. It's one of those things that you just have to scratch your head at, because he's definitely a good footballer. We've seen that previously. But long may it continue. He's a Chelsea player, and I don't want Chelsea to succeed, so fuck him. Have you seen Karius' performances for Besiktas? Said, it's Alex. I've seen a couple of clips. I'm not going to lie and say I've watched the games. I've seen a few highlights of things he's done. But what I have seen, and I spoke about this before, Alex, it's impressed me massively, is when Loris Karius posts something now about a game or a result or whatever it might be, he just puts up a post on social media, the love that he gets back from the Besiktas fans underneath, it's moving to see, and it will help rebuild the young man's confidence no end. So again, well done to Besiktas for accepting Karius into the club. Well done for showing him love. He seems to feel wanted there. His performances seem to have been quite good. Long may he continue. I wish the guy nothing but the best. It just didn't work out for him at Liverpool. No hard feelings here. Hopefully he goes on, has a great career, and he does seem to be loved where he is now, and that can make a world of difference to his confidence. So well done to Karius. Keep it up. And well done to the Besiktas fans for getting behind him. You seem like a wonderful bunch of supporters. Honestly, the messages that I've read underneath Karius' posts have been brilliant. Other fans can learn a lesson from some of the wording of these posts. It's beautiful to see, and exactly what you'd like to see football fans put underneath their players' posts. So well done to everyone involved, and long may it continue for Karius. I hope he continues to play well. Some people saying some of the misses from Morata have been hilarious. Trent will pocket Sané, said Red Tick Gaming. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I think Sané is an absolutely amazing footballer. I would love to have Sané at Liverpool. He's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. When they signed him from Schalke, I was severely pissed off. He has had flashes at Manchester City. He's had times in and out. I still can't understand why he wasn't taken to the World Cup. That seemed a mad decision to me. Look, Joachim Low knows what he was at. The World Cup is a shambles for Germany, but there's no doubt that he has an amazing future. And it's going to be a tough game for Trent, but Trent has shown that he can step up. He's done it previously. He's done it against Neymar and Mbappe, so I've no doubt whatsoever that he'll have his head screwed on. He'll be ready for Leroy Sané when he comes to Anfield at the weekend. Will Kevin De Bruyne be in the City squad? Said Junior. I heard a couple of people mentioning this. I don't know is the honest answer from my point of view, but even if he is back and fit, to expect a top-notch Kevin De Bruyne to show up after all that time out, I'd be amazed. Honestly, I would. As much of a great player as he is, you need to get back into a rhythm. So if he's in the squad, he's definitely not going to start, I'd say you may get him on at the end for a few minutes, but it's probably the best time. If you're going to play Kevin De Bruyne, it's now when he's coming back from an injury, because when he's in a rhythm and he's playing, he's, again, quality to watch. And we've got to be honest, like, we have to be fair in the way we judge players. I could come on here and call everybody shy and say all Manchester City players are overpaid pricks and all Chelsea players are rent boys, but that's not the truth. I try and be honest in my judgments on here, and sometimes cards have fallen for us, and If Kevin De Bruyne is not back or not fully fit, then that's a bonus for Liverpool, and there's no two ways about that. It's not our fault. We haven't influenced it in any way, but will it make the game against Manchester City a little bit easier? Yes, of course it will. Let's be honest about this. The same way, if we didn't have Virgil van Dijk, the game might seem a little bit easier for Manchester City. You want all your best players fit and firing for the game. And if De Bruyne isn't there, then that's a knock for Manchester City. But, fuck them. Because I'm not a Manchester City fan. We've given Hazard enough love. Can we move on? Said Paul. On the Hazard thing, there's a comment that came up today. So, like I said, I wanted to have a talk about Danny Sturridge. And I do. But there's just one comment on social media that I wanted to pull up on. And it's a good comment. So I'm not going to go on a rant about it here, guys. Don't worry. So I seen a post on Twitter from a lady by the name of Sophie Burden. And Sophie's post said, "It's funny how we hear about Hazard scoring twice in 2 games against Liverpool. Hold on. Hasn't Danny Sturridge done the same? And he scored probably or maybe 2 better goals. Hashtag media bias." So before we move on and have a serious talk about Danny Sturridge, because he is on the list of things I wanted to talk about tonight on the agenda, I want to get your thoughts on Sophie's post there. Do you think there has been too much media coverage of Eden Hazard's 2 goals against Liverpool, as good as they both were? Should more have been mentioned about Daniel Sturridge's 2 goals? Again, 2 absolute belters. 1 top bins and 1 scissor kick. She said hashtag media bias. Let me know what you think. Do you think that there's a bit of a love in for Eden Hazard and that he's been blown up by the media? Or do you think that there's been fair coverage of both players? Because let's be honest, there has been some calls for Daniel Sturridge to go back to England. Some people calling for him to be called back up. Some people calling for him to have a new contract at Liverpool. But just on this one point alone, let me know your thoughts. Do you think the media have been a little bit one-sided in their coverage of the 2 players here? Or is there another reason? Again, I want to stay completely impartial on this one until I hear what you guys have to say. Happy to share my own thoughts on it, but I don't want to influence your comments, so I'll wait on that one. And while we're talking about Danny Sturridge, there's something else here. So, Danny Murphy, former Red Danny Murphy, Spud, whatever you want to call him, former Fulham legend, whichever way you want to describe him, he has had a little bit to say about Daniel Sturridge as well. And it was complimentary, so I'm not going to have a go at Danny Murphy here in any way, shape or form. So Danny Murphy said that he believes Daniel Sturridge is better than Gabriel Jesus and Marcus Rashford at this moment in time. Now that's a big call for Danny Murphy to make. Gabriel Jesus, we've had this argument with regards to Roberto Firmino, and we've all said we believe Firmino was a much better player than Jesus, and that we've no idea why Jesus was getting the nod for Brazil in the World Cup. But Danny Murphy has come out and said that he believes Sturridge at this moment in time is ahead of Gabriel Jesus and Marcus Rashford. So let me know your thoughts on that one as well. That's a big claim to make for Danny Murphy. And he went on to say that he believes Daniel Sturridge could be the difference for Liverpool this season in them winning the Premier League or not. So again, another big claim. Now does this play back into the first point that we spoke about a second ago? I said Sophie made that wonderful point on social media about a lot of coverage of Hazard's 2 goals, and have we seen enough about Danny Sturridge's? Well, I've just given a story there that suggests Danny Murphy believes that Sturridge is good enough to go back into the England squad perhaps. He's certainly good enough to fire Liverpool towards a Premier League title, and he's given him a lot of credit, putting him up there ahead of Marcus Rashford and Gabriel Jesus. Is that down to man management as well? Is he firing and is he doing well now because Jurgen Klopp has boosted up his confidence, whereas maybe Jesus hasn't been getting some love from Pep? I don't know, no idea what goes on in the Manchester City squad. And with Marcus Rashford and Jose, there's been numerous stories around the media, and again, none of us really know what's going on because 1, we're not Manchester United fans, and 2, we don't have, we're not privy to what goes on in that dressing room. One thing we can say is that Marcus Rashford probably hasn't progressed as well as he should have. If I remember correctly, I think there was a couple of ex-Manchester United players saying something similar recently. Gabriel Jesus burst onto the scene for Manchester City. He scored some amazing goals. He was linked with Liverpool as well at one time or another, so we all thought he was the next fucking shit hot thing in English football. Again, he's scoring some goals, but he hasn't progressed as much. So do you think it's a bit too much from Danny Murphy. I think it's a little bit over the top, if I'm being honest. I love Daniel Sturridge. I'm delighted to see him back scoring goals. Long may it continue. And as Danny Murphy has said, I hope to God he goes on and forces Liverpool to a Premier League title. But putting them up there ahead of Gabriel Jesus and Marcus Rashford, it's a big claim. It's a very big claim. For me, Rashford, maybe. I think Jesus is probably nudging Sturridge in my eyes at this moment in time. But there's no doubt that a fit Danny Sturridge will get you goals. And if Danny Sturridge stays fit all season, then you know what? I'd put my money down that he'll be there or thereabouts with Jesus at the end of the season for numbers. So again, thanks for that listening to me little conversation on that point. But I'd like to go into the chat now and see how everybody else feels about it. So lots and lots and lots of things there about Danny Sturridge. So if the media won't give him as much coverage, we fucking certainly will. Right, so wherever we go, where's the Sturridge love? Danny's goal, 3 goalkeepers aren't getting to that with no chance, said Joseph Reardon. Sane scares me, said Junior. Same to me, mate. I spoke about that a moment ago. Mighty Lad has joined the chat. How are you, sir? Do you think introducing VAR to the Premier League we might lose the vibe of the game? I'll answer that one in a couple of minutes, Red Tick Gaming, if that's okay, buddy. Paul said he pinned it in the top corner against the most expensive keeper. Sturridge strike will go down in Anfield folklore. Kieran said, I don't agree Murata is world class. On his day he showed it when he first joined. Well, I agreed with you, Kieran. I said that there's a player there in Murata, so I wasn't having a go at Murata. I definitely think there is a top player in there. It's just getting it out of him. Red Tick said Kevin De Bruyne is back in training, but he's a doubt for the Liverpool game. Damo said, good evening all. I'm sorry I'm late, sir. It's okay, Damo. See me after class. James Fulham wants to know, does anyone play FIFA 19? I'm sure that there's a lot of people that do in the chat, mate. I don't, but I'm sure there's a lot of people in the chat that do. Okay, now we're getting towards the Danny Sturridge conversation. True statement, that is, said James Fulham, with regards to Daniel Sturridge. Craig, Sophie is correct, said Stephen Richards. So Stephen agreeing that the media hasn't shown enough love to Danny Sturridge for his 2 goals against Chelsea. Lewis said, I really want to get hyped about Sturridge, but every time I do he gets injured. Glad he's doing well now, let's hope he stays fit. Cameron said, of course, they're biased, absolutely. Red Tick said, Hazard will disappear. And look, I know we've got a Chelsea fan in the chat, but I'm going to stick to my honest opinion on Eden Hazard. Is he a class player? Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. But the reason I wouldn't respect Eden Hazard if I was a Chelsea fan, and this is just my opinion, I'm not putting the guy down. Well, I kind of am, but I'm not doing it just to be a prick. Can he produce moments of excellence? Yes. Can he probably drag you to a league title nearly on his own? Yes. Can he also disappear when things aren't going well or when he wants a manager out? Yes. Can that cost your club missing the Champions League qualification? Yes. Is he playing well now? Yes. Why is he playing well now? In my humble opinion, he's playing well now because he wants to get a move out of Chelsea and he wants to get a move to Real Madrid. Maybe Chelsea fans will look at that and go, I don't care. If he plays well, it benefits us. If he gets a move, the club get money, we'll reinvest. Completely fair point. But this is just how I see it as an outsider. I think he can be a moody little shit that doesn't really give a fuck about the club nor the fans, and he's proven that by going into hiding or sulking for 6 months at a time, getting 2 managers fired. But then you see the other side of him, the side that we're seeing now, the side that can tear a team apart on his own. So that's why I don't feel that Eden Hazard will ever be a great, because a true great doesn't down tools, in my opinion. And again, Chelsea fans most probably look at it differently, and that is their right as Chelsea fans. Sturridge and Milner need new deals, said Junior. The whole thing about Sturridge and a new deal is definitely a conversation that is going to be a tricky one. Between fan bases, between the manager and the player, his agent, there's definitely a conversation to be had there, and it's a fucking tough one. Because whatever way you look at it, it's a roll of the dice. It's definitely a gamble. Even if he stays fit for the entire season this year, the club committing to another 2-3 years on a deal at really, really high wages, because let's be honest, he'll be a free agent, so he'll be able to command pretty good wages. Not that he's not on them now. I mean, he's on very good wages. I think somewhere around 130 grand a week, something like that. Could be a little bit more, could be a little bit less, but it's certainly in excess of 100k. New contract more likely if Sturridge is reasonable in the contract talk, said Pepper Red. I wonder, will he be? And the reason I say that is because we've seen when he went to West Brom, he obviously didn't like what he's seen. I wonder, has he seen that things are quite good at Liverpool and that he's settled here? He knows his way around the club. He knows the people at the club. He likes the guys at the club. And when I'm talking the guys, I mean he likes everybody from the players to the staff, the canteen staff, the doctors, everybody. Maybe he just feels at home at Liverpool, and that little time away at West Brom could have given him a little kick up the ass to realise that he likes it here. So maybe, as Pepperetta suggested, he may go in. He might just sit down with the club and say, do you know what, guys, look, I'm not going to fuck about. I like it here. I know that my injuries haven't been great over the past few years. I know that you guys are back to me. I know you'll be taking a bit of a chance on me giving me this contract. Let's meet in the middle somewhere, and I'm looking for this. And hopefully, if that's what both parties want, a deal can be done. Junior said he wants 250k a week, I heard, and I'm not sure if that was in relation to Ramsey or Sturridge, because there was some more Ramsey chat there in the chat as well, so I don't want to go out on a limb and say that that was about Sturridge. Kieran said both players deserve a lot of praise and do think it's relatively unfair, and thank you, Kieran, for that. That's really, really honest thing to say, mate, so well done. The Fakir talk got me overexcited, said Junior. It's got us all a little bit overexcited, mate, let's be honest. Once we hear the name Fakir now, we're almost all are half-mast thinking about it. The Raptor said, of course there's media bias. It sickens me right off. I'd rather them just say stuff once and then shut the fuck up about it. I'm seriously packing Twitter in, and that's a fact. I don't blame you for the Twitter thing, mate. I've spoken about my love-hate relationship with Twitter loads of times. I could go on there and see some of the best, most creative content I've ever seen. I can see brilliant posts from Reds doing amazing things, helping charities, getting behind each other, helping people in need, giving people who are unwell love and support. But I've also seen the shitty side of humanity, the absolute fucking scum of the earth, who are only on there to cause people hurt and harm, to wind people up, to hide behind fake accounts. This football Twitter thing as well is a load of me arse. People use football Twitter as an excuse to say what the fuck they want and call it banter. It's not. Football Twitter at times can be just a bunch of fucking kids who think they're hard hiding behind keyboards, calling themselves elite fucking somebody or super somebody or some bullshit name around a player like that, and have things in their bios like only elite opinions here or 100% elite opinions, only follow back elite accounts, and all that type of fucking bollocks. At the end of the day, most of football Twitter is young kids who know fuck all about the game, who are just on there acting like Billy Big Bollockses because they think they have the freedom to say what they want behind a false account. I've had some dealings with these fucking idiots over the years on Twitter, and I'm not putting everybody in that bracket. I know there are some people on football Twitter who go on there and post beautiful posts with statistics, good conversational points, good points on games, nice articulate posts. But let's be fair, we all know, put our hand on heart here, there's an absolute bunch of fucking tossers on there as well that just make you depressed, and you go on there and you're leaving with a headache, you're pissed off and you don't know where you went on there. So much like Raptor, who gives Twitter a miss, I do a lot of the time as well these days. I post remotely so I don't even have to go on and check comments and stuff. It's tough because I loved Twitter when I first joined there, but then I come over here, get a little taste of YouTube, and feel like a whole new person. Spoke about it yesterday, so I get where you're coming from, Raptor mate. You're not alone in that one. Ben said, new Bobby Firmino song, Shiny Teeth and Me. Kieran Bailey said, Rashford is so off form, but not Jesus. Red Tick Game said, the reason Jesus was ahead of Firmino was because City won the Premier League. Possibly. I have another theory on it. I think it might have had something to do with Neymar, perhaps preferring Jesus alongside him up front than Bobby Firmino. I've nothing to prove that. It's just something that I read somewhere and I thought, well, it wouldn't fucking surprise me because that little diva does like things his own way. He's a fraud, by the way. I said this time and time again, that fucking Neymar, he's not up there with the best of the best. He's a YouTube footballer, an absolute fucking fraud. I think Salah is on similar money, said Junior. There was something there about Morata as well. Where is it? Morata is following in the footsteps of Fernando Morientes, who came to Liverpool from Spain with a huge reputation but really struggled. He did, Damo. A little bit of a difference there in that Morientes was at the very end of his career when he came to Liverpool. He was after having time at Monaco, I think. Or was that after he came to Liverpool? I don't know if he was at Monaco and they got to that Champions League semi-final and then he came to Liverpool, or if it was the other way around. My memory's shocking and stuff like that. But yeah, you're right. I remember when we signed Morientes, I thought to myself it was one of the best signings in my lifetime. I was so happy to see Fernando Morientes at Liverpool. Thought Rafa Benitez was after pulling off a masterstroke. But sadly, as it does sometimes in football, it didn't work out for Morientes at Liverpool. And as you mentioned there, Damo, it doesn't seem to be working out at this moment in time for Morata at Chelsea. Would have beaten Chelsea with him in the team, said Junior. I think the Brazil fan base are a bit like Real Madrid. They need the hyped up names to always be on the pitch, and Jesus playing for City in that season was the hype choice. Jonathan said starting 11 against Napoli. We'll move on to that subject next, Jonathan, mate, so bear with me. And there was something else I wanted to get back to, wasn't there? Red Tick, can you remind me what it was, mate? I told you I'd come back to because I remembered your name, but I can't remember what the comment was. So if you can repost that, buddy, we'll get straight onto that topic. But Jonathan, don't worry, we will get onto the Napoli game. That's probably the subject we're going to end the stream with because it deserves 20 or 30 minutes to have a chat about. Louis said, nah, we wasn't giving him that unless he does a Chamberlain and take a pay cut to come here, said Louis. Fuck the media, next week it'll be someone else, will be their poster boy. Hopefully it's Salah when he belongs to City, or when he bangs in 3 against City, excuse me. I'm going to read that out again, Tom, because I butchered it. Fuck the media, next week it'll be someone else as their poster boy. Hopefully it's Salah when he bangs in 3 against City. It'll be, you know, it won't be though. It's going to be Harry Kane. Harry Kane will score 2 goals or something, and the love-in will be back. The media will be only stroking themselves and calling for fluffers for Harry Kane to get him ready because they fucking love them a bit of Harry Kane. Firmino coming out and training with glasses on after the PSG game. Our team morale couldn't be better. Did you see Jimmy Milner with his version of the glasses? That was brilliant. Paul Turner's in the chat. Paul, how are you, sir? Great to have you with us. Kieran Bailey said Sturridge isn't reliable. Well, look, I can't really argue with you on that one. I'd love to be able to. I'll argue with you till the cows come home about how good a striker he is, but with regards to reliability, you kind of have us by the balls there. He isn't very reliable, unfortunately, because Liverpool fans love him. We love him as a footballer. That's the only downside to Daniel Sturridge, and at times, unfortunately, it can be quite a big downside. Senior Flamo said the reason is that Chelsea won the first one and led in the second half and late on in the game. Influenced the commentary and the media focus, but love to see Danny back looking sharp. Craig, Sturridge needs to stay fit, simple as that, said Stephen Richards. Junior said Jadon Sancho is doing bits for Dortmund this season. Yeah, but we're getting Pulisic, mate. Pulisic is the one we want from Dortmund. Remember, Pulisic. I have my heart set on Pulisic. I'm going to have a broken heart next summer, but it's set on Pulisic at this moment in time. If I keep telling myself Pulisic is coming eventually, I'll convince myself it's actually happening. I wouldn't be too far off at this moment in time, though. I've told myself so many fucking times. Jadon Sancho is so good, said Louis. I think he needs another loan move to a smaller team like West Ham, said Alex. Where's Alex's comment? Where's that? I think he needs another loan move. Ah, there you go. Perfect. Aronovich is a top player, says Red Tick Gaming. He's another one of those moody bastards, isn't he? If Aronovich wants to show up, then yeah, he's one hell of a player. But he's another one that can disappear as well if he's sulking or things aren't going his way. Crosby Red said we should make it a condition of a new Sturridge contract that he retires from international duty. It's a tough call with some players though. Some players are very pro playing for the country. I'm not that I'm saying anybody shouldn't be, but some players, it really is the pinnacle for them. They feel like it's a dream since they were a kid. Other players perhaps have had the experience playing for the countries, as Danny has, and feels maybe that to prolong their career, a lot of the times these players do retire from international duty and, you know, go on playing club football, a la James Milner. And of course Jamie Carragher did it as well, but in a little bit more, I won't say controversial circumstances, but there was a little bit more conversation around when Jamie Carragher retired from international football. But to be fair to Carragher, he was a centre back at a time where there was some absolute worldly centre backs playing in the Premier League. Sturridge said he loves it here. Obviously passionately wouldn't mind if you give him a new contract, said Louis. The only problem is if he gets injured again. Raptor said how old is Danny, and Louis said 29 or 28. I think he's 29 if memory serves correct. But you guys know me, I'm fucking awful at remembering stuff. Red Tick said, what if Salah starts banging in goals? Will the media be biased? Of course they will, because they love Hazard at the moment. Jonathan King just saying blue spanner please. Just coming in asking for blue spanners immediately. I don't know. How long has Jonathan been here? Somebody refresh my memory. Does Jonathan deserve a blue spanner? I'll let you guys be the judge of this one. Kieran said, not sure if you've seen the West Ham United game when Pogba got subbed off. United fan chanted get out of our club. Just no support from fans. I've seen bits and pieces of the game, Kieran, didn't watch it live. Laughed my ass off at the result. Of course I did, not even gonna fucking lie. Delighted about the result. I don't want Jose to get fired though. I want him to stay there and for the United fans to be miserable for years to come, because Jose Mourinho and Manchester United fans fucking deserve each other. Mark Goldbridge deserves to have to look at Manchester United under Jose Mourinho. Those fuckers can kid themselves as well at times. I often have conversations on Twitter with United fans and they just keep going that we've won trophies under Mourinho. Great, you have. Congratulations to you. Are you enjoying your football now? Do you look forward to going into the stadium week after week or turning it on the TV to watch Manchester United under Jose Mourinho? Because I know I do. I know all of us Reds do. I know we look forward to the weekend or to the Champions League games with excitement, with hope, and with the anticipation of what's going to happen. Whereas I know that those fuckers haven't got a clue what to expect. They don't even know what players are going to be playing where. They're stuck with McTominay playing a fucking centre back. McTominay at centre back. Madness. But this is Jose being a petulant prick. And it's good enough for them. It's good enough for all of those Manchester United fans that thought that their shit didn't stink, that thought that their club was going to go on forever. Fuck you. Fuck you all. You deserve it. You and Jose deserve each other. And long may that marriage last. And if anybody thinks that firing Mourinho and bringing in somebody like Zinedine Zidane is going to make it fixed overnight, you're sadly mistaken. Manchester United are in a fucking crisis and they need to be fixed from top to bottom. And it's good enough for them, as I said, it's good enough for them. Fuck them. Can I use this blue spanner if anybody mentions Madrid's gimp? Yes, Paul. You free reign, mate. Anybody mentions that cunt, you free reign to get rid of the comment. No, Neymar is so overrated, so it's just the whole PSG team bar Mbappe. He really is. I've had a rant about Neymar before we played PSG. Kieran did a bit of a segment about it on the channel. He's not what worries me at all when we played PSG. Mbappe petrified me when we were going to play PSG. I wasn't worried at all about Neymar because I knew he'd do fuck all. People can say he set up the goal for Mbappe. Fair enough. He got a bit lucky as well, to be fair, with the ricochet through, but other than that, what did he do? Nothing for the entire fucking game. Also, Craig, me and Junior were talking about Aaron Ramsey's wages. Thank you, Louis. I was wondering, when I seen 250k, I was wondering if it was Ramsey, because I had heard that very figure mentioned. Actually, I'd heard 350k is what he wanted at Arsenal, because that's what Mesut Ozil was getting. Craig, why use Twitter for AA comps when you know what it's like? It's not always our call, Crosby Red. We have to take account of what the partner for the project wants. And ScoreDraw wanted two things. They wanted to draw attention to the Twitter account to help grow, and they wanted to draw attention to the website. So we can't just decide where to put the competition. So this one in particular, it made more sense to do it on the Twitter account because of the results that they were aiming for. So yeah, good point for letting me know about that as well. I haven't mentioned it. The competition post is up. Head over to the Anfield Agenda Twitter account at Anfield Agenda. The pinned tweet on there now, it's really simple this time. We've whittled down the 15 Liverpool retro shirts that ScoreDraw sell. We've whittled it down to the top four, the four choices that you guys have let us know about. So we have a vote up on there, and it's going to be up there till just before the Napoli game on Wednesday. So if you want to enter the competition to win your choice of any of the LFC ScoreDraw retro shirts, go onto the Anfield Agenda Twitter account, pick your choice of shirt, just vote on it, click the vote. Make sure to retweet the competition post and that you're following both at Anfield Agenda and at ScoreDraw. Simple as that. That's all you have to do. We'll be picking a winner on Wednesday after the Napoli game, just like we did after the PSG game when we gave Charlene her shirt. So best of luck to everybody. Don't forget to enter. And as always, if you want to go and have a look on scoredraw.com, we have a 10% discount code for our viewers and subscribers. If you see anything on there, it doesn't have to be Liverpool related, any product whatsoever, just put in the code 3SCORE10. So the number 3, score, all uppercase, and the number 10, and that will get you 10% off anything on scoredraw.com. And thank you again to the guys at scoredraw.com for looking after us with competitions. Red Gaming said, I hate people who fake cancer on social media to profit some money from people. Do they have no heart towards the people who do actually have cancer and go through that so much pain every day, mate? Those people are the fucking scum of the earth. I mean, we can talk about football fans, and I had a rant about Chelsea fans the other day and stuff with regards to the singing of that song, but none of that holds a candle to those bastards that pretend to have serious illnesses when there are some people out there fighting for their lives, some people trying to raise money for really, really good causes, and there is so many of them. So as you rightly said, those bastards that are out there faking illnesses, there's no words to describe the hatred that everybody must feel towards them. And I can't understand the type of mentality of a human being that would even consider for 1 second to fake that. Whether it be for attention, I don't know, there's other ways to get attention. It's disgusting, and you're right, Red Tick, it's one of the worst things on social media. And it's not just limited to Twitter, it's limited, like it's unlimited, across all aspects of social media. It's disgusting, and I would just urge anybody who's ever even considered it, if you're shit circumstances, or if you're shit up for money and you're struggling, don't do it this way. Don't try and scam people out of money by claiming a fake injury or an illness. It's just not right. There's people out there suffering that deserve to be treated better. So as Red Ticket said, like, yeah, special place in fucking hell for those bastards. Apparently some kid did it on Twitter. I did see that. I'm not going to comment about the specifics of that one because it was a child and I don't want to drag a child's name into a conversation. Jace is in the house, said, "Evening mate, evening all, you're bang on about Twitter, although it's opened a few doors for me so I can't fully stay off there. Plus it gives me the opportunity to put Adrian Durham straight." Look, as I said, Jace, you're spot on, mate. It's opened doors for me as well. I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't be sitting here doing what I'm doing. I wouldn't have made podcasts. I wouldn't have been able to write articles and stuff if it hadn't have been for Twitter. So it has certainly opened doors for me, as you've said for yourself. But I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough at times, particularly after a loss. I definitely give it a swerve after Liverpool have lost. Red Tick said, "Do you think introducing VAR to the Premier League we might lose the vibe of games?" Thank you, mate. That was your comment. Appreciate you putting it back in. Apologies that I forgot about it. So what do you guys think? He suggested that VAR putting it into the Premier League might lose the vibe of games or the flow of a game. Now, I suppose we have a couple of ways we can look at this. One, the referees in the Premier League are shite. The assistants are shite. Is having VAR going to make them any better? Well, we can look at what happened in the League Cup game against Chelsea as Liverpool fans and say, well, no, because Barkley was clearly offside. They had use of VAR there. It wasn't used. There was a couple of handball incidents we believe could have went against Cesc Fabregas. Didn't go for review. So it's proved in that one instance or that one game that the system can be flawed. That it's still down to human error and human interpretation at times. And you would imagine that whatever about the handballs, you would imagine that the Barkley one was an open and shut case. The line was drawn, his leg was over it, he was clearly offside, but yet somehow, 2 or 3 people, I don't know how many people were in that VAR room looking at those images, decided that that goal should stand. Now, that is going to be used time and time and time again by people who are against VAR now to show that it's not just the black and white decisions. It's not just referees deciding on a handball or a foul. That can be up to interpretation. They got that one wrong. Black and fucking white, and they got it wrong. So, will it slow down the league? Yes, probably. It probably will at the start. It'll need to be worked out. Referees will need to be strong against players who are looking to have things reviewed. They will need to show yellow cards. What bugs me about VAR a lot of the times, particularly during the World Cup, was there was incidents where players had clearly dived. Now, the penalties weren't given, and that was great to see, but there was no action taken against the players who had simulated fouls in order to try and buy a penalty. That's one thing about VAR in the World Cup that absolutely drove me demented. It was great to see the right decisions being made on these penalty incidents a lot of the time with regards to fouling. Handballs I'll get on to in a second. But it was great to see a lot of them be pulled up and being shown to be a dive. But where was the yellow cards? Where was the bookings for simulation? I did not see them in the World Cup. The handball incidents with regards to VAR, I think if you slow down any incident where a ball strikes a hand, it's going to look like a handball. It is clearly going to look worse in slow-mo. They should be played in real time, I think. And let's be honest, anything in slow-mo with a ball touching a hand is going to look like a handball. So more often than not, they're probably going to be given then. There's a few other things as well, but all in all, I would be pro VAR. I think it should be introduced into the game. I would be worried that 1, the officials that we currently have aren't good enough to work the system. 2, I don't trust the decision making of the referees, even with the system. And 3, the players and the managers and the time wasting that's going to go on around it. So there's a few things that need to be worked on. I'm sure you guys in the chat have more thoughts and more things that you might like to see introduced or not introduced. Goal line technology has been brilliant. It's clear, it's easy. A little watch on the referee's arm. It has probably saved or caused saved so many headaches for referees. That little beep on the arm and the players know they can't even fucking argue with it. That technology is there. It's shown if the ball's over the line or not. They can scream and cry at the ref all they want, but the technology hasn't failed yet that I've seen. So for that, brilliant. For VAR, yes for me, but I'm worried. I'm worried about what's to come. Louise said, red tick game and people who do that I've no time for it. It's disgusting with regards to the faking of cancer and stuff. VAR is good to use, depends if the ref and the game are prepared to listen to the players when they ask for it to be reviewed. Well, that's the thing, Louise. It shouldn't be down to the players. The players shouldn't be allowed to ask, nor the managers, under the current system. It's supposed to be the guys in VAR are supposed to alert the referee to something that he may want to have a look at. So if it's with regards to a penalty incident or if it's regards to a possible sending off, then they will alert the referee that they believe he needs to come and have a look at something. From there, it'll be the referee's decision. When it comes to offsides and stuff, then it's a little bit different. Then VAR can tell the referee, look, that was on or offside, because they're looking at it and they have the lines on the screen and all that stuff. But with regards to penalties and stuff, to the best of my knowledge, they can only advise the referee that he needs to have a look at something. Anthony said bin VAR, still relying on human judgment, just another link in the chain. Red Hick said the reason I put the word vibe is because the technology is still behind in the hands of a human to control, and that line they drawn was down to a human decision. Also, another thing about this with regards to being offside and the lines that people are talking about, it is very, very, very difficult to judge the exact moment a ball leaves somebody's foot with a pass. And that millisecond, that 1/10 of a second, can show a difference between a player being onside or offside. And there's also arguments about where the cameras are positioned on the field to show the lines as well, that them in different positions can cause a player to be on or offside depending on where they're positioned. This is just stuff I've seen from other fan channels. This is not me claiming to have knowledge on the stuff. But with regards to the ball leaving the player's foot, that's something that I definitely think there's some validity behind, because the difference of a ball moving 6 inches from a player's foot could be the difference between somebody being on or offside, even less. So it's not perfect, but will it make a difference? Will it improve things? I think what we have to ask ourselves with VAR is, in the grand scheme of things, will it get more of the bigger decisions correct than is currently happening now? And will it pick up on things that we've missed and that might influence the outcome of games? Nothing will be foolproof. Nothing will be 100% certain. But you have to just ask yourself, will it do better for the game than it currently does now? And that's open to interpretation at this moment in time. It's open to people's judgments. It's not going to be up to us whether it's introduced. The Premier League are trialling it now, and we've seen that they're going to try it, I think, in 3 phases this season, with a review to bringing it in next season. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be fucking strange. I've been watching how it's been used in other countries. Some countries have fared better than others, but after a while it seems to settle down in every country. There's been some absolutely mad incidents as well. I remember one country, could be Italy, I'm not remembering this correctly, could be France, but a team went in for half time. They were in the fucking tunnel or in the dressing room, and the ref called them back out for a penalty. Absolute madness. What else have we got? More VAR, hang on. Gark destroyed his PS4 pad. Fuck Gark. He should just be destroyed, full stop. VAR will raise questions, said Red Hick. Patbot said VAR may work better if they showed what was happening on a big screen at the ground. There definitely needs to be something at every ground that VAR is in use of to let the people inside the stadium know that one, it's gone for a review or a decision is pending or something, because at the moment, particularly at Anfield where there's no big screens, it can be fucking farcical. The fans haven't got a clue what's going on. Pepper Red said, I ain't subbed him, liked this video, but one where Garth played Liverpool on FIFA and lost. I had to give him a thumbs up. Farwell said, I think they're deliberately mucking up VAR because they secretly don't want it. But it's their choice, that's the thing. The Premier League can just say no. It's completely up to them if they want to use VAR or not. Kieran Bailey said, yeah, it would get rid of the possibility of the ref on the pitch not making a mistake, but it's still humans that are working VAR. True, again, absolutely true. Guys, don't forget, if you're watching this channel for the first time, like Kieran, and you've just joined, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying the content. We're trying to grow Anfield Agenda into the biggest LFC community on YouTube. Now, I'm not saying the biggest Liverpool channel. We call ourselves a community channel. We don't run this for money. We run this as a non-profit. Everybody in this is part of the family. And you think that's a cheesy line? You think it's something we're making up? Look at the fucking chat. Look at the people in here. They'll let you know night after night. We have some of the best YouTubers in the business. The people in our chat are wonderful. This is a family. So if you're watching and you haven't subscribed yet, do take a minute to do so. It means the world to us. We're really quickly growing on here. We've gone from 1,000 to like 4,200 nearly over the past few months. But that's only with your help. And it's only because of the amazing subscribers we have, the amazing moderators in the channel, and the amazing chat that goes on here, because it's a friendly, warm, welcoming place. So thank you for your time. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And those of you that are already subscribed, you know what's coming out of my mouth next. Takes 2 seconds. Hover your key or your mouse down and just hit that like button. The likes have been, they've been pretty low for us, being honest, lately. And the more likes we get, the more the channel gets pushed out there and suggested to other users. So it just takes 1 second, guys. Hit that like button. It means the world to us and helps us push the channel out there. That was class, Pepper. I was on that one with you with regards to Gark destroying his controller. If they make it take forever, then I'll say VAR is untenable and that they can toss it out, said Far Oil. The Raptor said, that's the way it really needs if they're going to use it. The crowd should be just as involved as anybody else, otherwise it's a nail in the coffin of spectators. Again, excellent point. Gark is such a buffoon, said Pepper Red. Another fucking amazing point. Will VAR be introduced next season? They're deciding on it this season. They're trialling it out. They had a trial, I think it was 2 weeks ago. They had 5 games that VAR was being trialled in. Now the referee wasn't being told of any decisions or anything like that. The trial was apparently to see if the one studio could cope with multiple decisions from multiple games at one time. No idea what the results are. I just know there was 5 3 o'clock games on a Saturday, and that they've got 2 more trials, I think of similar times, 5 3 o'clock games for those guys. I think it's out in Heathrow or something, the studio, to see if they can cope with looking at multiple games, picking up multiple incidents and advising multiple officials. So your guess is as good as mine, but why they've only got 1 team, again, it just seems like a fucking cheapskate way out to me. Why can't they have a team at every single game? You imagine that every club could give them a room. I mean, what are we talking about here? For a 10 by 10 foot room, maybe even a small bit bigger, to have some screens and some equipment in there for 3 officials to sit there and make decisions. They could even build like a TV studio in the corner or something. It just seems a fucking cheapskate way out for me to have 1 set of officials. Surely the players should have some way to say to VAR, especially if they got something to review, if they see it. There's been calls, Louise. Some people have suggested things like a manager or a captain gets 1 or 2 reviews a game. That's been suggested. I don't know. In tennis, we've seen the players get 3 reviews a set, I think, if memory serves correctly. And if they challenge something and they're proven to be right, then they don't lose one of their calls. And if it goes to a tiebreak, they get an extra challenge. I'm not sure in rugby if there's something similar. I don't know. And again, in American football, I haven't got a clue. I don't know the rules of American football. Craig, did you watch the Fury Wilder press conference? Yeah, I did, mate. I absolutely fucking did. Come on, I want to tickle. I want to tickle, mate. Come on. You're a dosser. You're a dosser, mate. I want to tickle. It was fucking hilarious. It was vintage Tyson Fury. And no matter how many times they had to tell him to stop swearing, he was still swearing. But he's Tyson Fury. He gets inside people's head. I truly believe that Tyson Fury thinks he is unbeatable. I don't think he puts it on for show. I truly think he believes that he's the best in the division. What I did disagree with, and somebody feel free to pull me up on this one, yes, Tyson Fury is the lineal heavyweight champion of the world. And for people that don't know what that means, it means that he has the right to come back and fight for the belt that he had to give up because he had to move away from the sport. I'll let other people Google as to why. That's a discussion for another day. But it means that basically he's the champion in recess, that he can come back and fight for those belts at some time. Now those belts were the belts that Joshua won off Klitschko. A lot of the belts, most of the belts in the division. But what I didn't like today was the fact that he wasn't happy with being called a challenger to Deontay Wilder's WBC heavyweight title. And he kept calling himself the lineal champ. That's fine, but he is a fucking challenger. He never held Deontay Wilder's belt that I'm aware of. As far as I was aware, that was the only belt that wasn't near Klitschko. Deontay Wilder has always held that belt. Well, I say has always. Has held that belt for many years. You can argue about who he's fought and who he's ducked and whatever, but I disagreed with Fury trying to say that he wasn't the challenger. He fucking is. He's coming in to fight Deontay Wilder for a belt that, to my knowledge, Klitschko didn't have at the time when he beat Klitschko, so it was always Wilder's belt. That's the only little thing from this press conference that I disagreed with, but other than that, it was fucking comedy. And there's 2 more to go. There's one in New York, I think, and then there's one in LA, because the fight takes place on December 1st in the Staples Center in Los Angeles, and it's going to be a good fight. I'm definitely going to tune in for that one. Thomas Boland said, if FA don't want VAR, it's because they lose control. The puppets. Is it colour specific? Asks Brian Morrissey. To what, mate? I'm absolutely lost on the colour specific part. Deontay is very dangerous, said Pepper Red. He is. He's really... The thing about Deontay Wilder is that he's so unpredictable. He can come in from ridiculous angles. He can lunge across the ring. He moves so quickly for a 15 and a half stone heavyweight. He does have ridiculous power. People can argue he hasn't been tested. He hasn't fought anybody major. He was tested against Luis Ortiz, who he should have got out of there easier. Ortiz is what, fucking 40 odd years of age or something, even a little bit older. And he was wobbled by Ortiz, and only for the bell Ortiz might have got him out of there. But in fairness to him, he turned it around and knocked out Ortiz. They weren't very respectful of Anthony Joshua, and they weren't shy about giving their side of things, that they reckon Joshua was just ducking the fight. I don't think so. In my opinion, AJ is the top man in that division. In my opinion, AJ is the money fighter of the division. He is the prize fighter. He is where the money is. If that deal couldn't be made, it's because AJ wasn't getting the money he wanted for the fight. And as a professional fighter, that's fully up to him to make that deal. He has most of the belts. This is the only belt AJ doesn't hold. So everybody else calling him out, he's the king of the division. Simple as that. I know people love Wilder, people love Fury, but at this moment in time, AJ is the king of the division. Does Tyson Fury deserve a chance to fight Anthony Joshua? Yes, he does. If he beats Wilder, he deserves it. He's the lineal champion. He has a right to come back and fight for his titles. Will he beat Anthony Joshua? I honestly don't know. I really don't know. I think he'll beat Wilder. I honestly do think Tyson Fury is going to beat Wilder, even though he's only just come back. People say he's only back in the sport 6 months after a 2-year break. I think he beats him, and then there'll be a fucking major fight. Fury versus Anthony Joshua would be less dangerous for Joshua than Wilder, in my opinion. But again, just my opinion. What else have we got? VAR comes in and is done right, we'll win the league easily. We're one of the cleanest teams in the league, said Paul Curzon. But it was proved last year, wasn't it, that incorrect decisions cost us more points than any other team in the Premier League. I think, was it 12 points would have been changed around in our favour last year if obvious decisions had been corrected. I know there was a study done, I can't remember who did the study, but we spoke about it on a previous stream. Megan Anki said, the man who beat the man. Yep, think the bomber drops him, said Joseph. Wilder called AJ a coward. AJ smashes them both, said Megan Anki. Joshua is protected from Wilder, asks Pepper Red. I honestly don't think he is, mate. I think it's purely a money thing. Wilder has never been able to draw the figures, whether it be pay-per-view sales, crowds, attendances, fan base. He's never had the backing that Anthony Joshua has had by the fans, the buy-in from the world. So he's asking for too much money. In my humble opinion, and I'm not inside these negotiations, I don't think Anthony Joshua is ducking Wilder. I just think he believes Wilder's looking for too big a slice of the pie. They spoke about the 50 million they offered Anthony Joshua. Eddie Hearn. And look, we all know Eddie Hearn can tell a spoof or two, let's be honest. But he came out and said that it was a very vague contract. They asked for details, they didn't get them. So look, both parties are going to be telling a few porkies here. But I wouldn't ever say that Joshua is ducking Wilder or Fury. I honestly don't think that's true. Ortiz was close to knocking Wilder out, said Cameron. Thomas Boland said, good night all, have to go. Craig, Brian is on about the colour of the spanner. Oh, apologies Brian. Yeah, it does have to be blue, unfortunately mate. It fucking kills us that it has to be blue. We wish I could change it to red, but it's not an option for us. It's just a YouTube thing, unfortunately mate. They went with blue. In their infinite wisdom, they went with blue. Cameron said, yep, he is a challenger for the WC belt. Fury has never held that belt. Where's Jonathan King gone? Asked Paul. Haven't got a clue, mate. Asked for a spanner and I think he disappeared then after that. I've no idea. I hope we didn't offend him because no offence was meant. I hope he didn't take any. I don't think we said anything offensive to him. Craig, I think Fury is more of a slugger. Oh, I don't know about that, man. Fury is very clever. He's very good footwork as well for such a big dude. He wasn't like Klitschko wasn't even able to lay a glove on Tyson Fury. I don't know. I'm not the biggest Fury fan in the world, so I'm probably protecting him here, and people are saying, "What are you on about?" I'm not actually a massive Tyson Fury fan at all. I'm a big AJ fan. I love everything about Anthony Joshua. I enjoy watching Wilder as well, but I'm not having biased glasses on here. I just think it's a little bit too disrespectful to Fury to say that he's a bit of a slugger. Rod said, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'll have to disappear for the next few days as I'm going away for work and leave the internet at home. Have a lovely week and up the Reds. And Rod, look, before you go, mate, thank you for your recent article. It was excellent. I urge anybody who hasn't gone on to anfieldagenda.com and checked out Rod's new article to do so. As always, Rod writes brilliant stuff, so jump on the website and have a read. If you're wondering if you have to subscribe or pay to have a look on that website, no. anfieldagenda.com is absolutely free, like all of our content. So have a look on there. Rod's article's on there. There's a few other bits and pieces. Have a look around. There's a chat room in there as well. But Rod, look, thank you, buddy. I might be away when you come back. I'm off on my holidays next week, so if I don't catch up with you before you're back, thank you for everything, buddy, and I'll be in touch as soon as I'm back. Craig, teams like ours have nothing to fear from VAR, said Stephen Richards. You're right, mate. We absolutely don't. Nothing at all. Pepper Red said, protected by the British Boxing Board of Control because Joshua is still marketable. Wilder might just change that. Megan Anki said, Wilder is barely known in his hometown of Alabama. He's never, I think, did they say something like his biggest payday? No, I'm not even going to guess, but it doesn't touch the money that Joshua can make. Squizzums, that's my next topic, buddy, don't worry. We won't do a last 15 tonight. We'll talk about Napoli because I've missed it. I've missed it so far in the stream, and I know a lot of people want to talk about it, so we'll get on to Napoli now in 2 seconds. This will be a tricky fight for Wilder. Similar reach and won't be able to dominate the fight like he usually does. Paul Curtin, welcome to the channel, buddy. If you've just subbed, thank you very much. Great to have you with us. Don't forget to put your comments in the chat. Get to know the guys in here. They're a really nice bunch. I say guys, I keep reiterating it's an Irish phrase. When I say guys, I mean ladies and gentlemen. I don't mean, I say guys as in a group. So get to know everybody in here. Really nice bunch and welcome. Great to have you with us. Jay said, Fury is an awkward, unconventional fighter. He's good technique but not great punching power. He'll beat Wilder and he'll be very difficult for Joshua. Wilder has knockout power but his defence is shocking. Yeah, he can certainly be hit, definitely, as we've seen with Ortiz wobbling as well. Can't wait. We spoke about this before. If Callum Smith gets the fight at Anfield, guys, we should do an Anfield Agenda fucking jolly up. We should, get a load of us over there. Anybody who wants to go to the fight, we'll all get tickets together. We'll fuck the money into a kitty or something, buy the tickets, go over and do it together and do it in style. Because if you're like me, you love your boxing, what a better place to watch it than Anfield? And who better to go and cheer on than one of the marvellous Smith brothers? So if he gets this fight at Anfield, and I'm fucking praying that he does, because he really wants it. If anybody wants to come with me, I think Ant said he's going to be going, or maybe it was Stephen, I can't remember which one of the guys it was. Let us know, because it would be fucking brilliant to do a big Anfield Agenda meet up there and head to that fight. And I'm looking at you as well here, Mr. Roberts, because you're only in Wales, buddy, so it's not too far for you to come. Vinnie Johnson is heading off. Good night, guys. Right, guys, let's move this conversation on. Last 15 minutes, let's have a chat about Napoli. Starting 11th for the game on Wednesday. What type of predictions we're expecting. How important is the game with respect to the game of the weekend? Should we be putting all our eggs in the Manchester City basket? Would you like Liverpool to send over, I won't say a weaker team, but to rest a couple of players is probably the more correct way of putting this. So let me know. I've given you my 11 last night. I haven't got it wrote down again, but my memory serves. It was ALISSON in goal, the regular back four. I wasn't resting anybody from the back four. Midfield of Milner, Naby Keita and Gini Wijnaldum. And I was resting Mo Salah, so I had a front three of Sadio Mane, Roberto Firmino and Danny Sturridge. That's the 11 that I would be sending over to start against Napoli. But we all know my opinion isn't worth fuck, and it's not my opinion that counts, it's Jurgen Klopp's opinion. But of course, this is a fan channel. We're all here for a bit of fun and debate. So let me know your 11. Let me know your score predictions. I'm struggling to come up with a score prediction for this one. I was looking at the betting odds yesterday because I like a flutter. I was struggling to even come up with a decent way of backing. I think Liverpool to score 2 goals was probably my confident part of that betting scenario. But I don't know what score to predict. I'm probably going to have to wait a little bit closer to the game before I can give you guys my score prediction. But let's jump in now, seeing how everyone else is feeling in the chat. It's become the house of Paul, said Raptor. Louis said, Virgil van Dijk said Liverpool players used to get used to being subbed, otherwise you'd better leave. Fucking love Virgil van Dijk. He just keeps coming out with fucking gems. Keane's gone for Alisson, Trent, Virgil, Gomez, Robbo, Fabinho, Keita, Milner, Shaqiri, Sturridge and Mane. The Raptor wants just a team of Carragers. We all dream of a team of Carragers, a team of Carragers, a team of Carragers. Na 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 na. Craig, agree with your team for Napoli, said Stephen Richards. Naby has to start for me. Sturridge deserves a start after a stunner at the weekend, said Paul. Alisson, Trent, VVD, Gomez, Robbo, Gini, Keita, Milner, Shaqiri, Firmino and Sturridge is the Revenites 11. Anthony Peters was gone for Alisson, Trent, Gomez, VVD, Robbo, Hendo, Gini, Naby, Mane, Bobby and Mo. Kieran says Insigne will be a very big handful. I watch him a lot. He could be a problem for your defence. He's a good player, Kieran. The thing I find about Insigne is he's a greedy little shit, and he takes too much out of the ball at times, and he takes pot shots from way too far out. And he feels like at times at Napoli, because he's Napoli born and bred, I think, he feels like he has to take on too much of the responsibility for Napoli. Almost like we'd seen previously with Steven Gerrard at times at Liverpool, except he could deliver a bit more. Insigne feels it's all on him at times, even though he has Dries Mertens there, even though he has Mario Hamšík, and he has a few other players as well there as well. He just feels it's on him at times. So yeah, agree with you, he's a good player, but he can be a greedy little shit from time to time. Kieran's gone for a 3-3 in that one. That would be an entertaining game. Louise said Salah needs to be rested, Sturridge in and Liverpool to win 2-1. Paul said every game is important. I'd rest Mo and Bobby and Milner and put in Shaqiri, Naby and Sturridge. Meganonki thinks we might see 1 or 2 changes. Sturridge in for Mo and Naby in for Hendo. Jay said a boxing night would be ace. Now that's it, Jace. Too late, man. You're nailed in now. before you even know it, I'll be sending you on your ticket and saying, oh yeah, Jace, I forgot to say I booked your ticket for this fight, mate, you're coming. It'd be fucking brilliant, wouldn't it? Especially at Anfield. I've so much love and respect for those Smith brothers. As I said before, they've done a lot for me and my family. And Paul has sent me over tickets to see Callum fight before, sent us t-shirts, helped us out with a few bits as well for all his and charities. He's a great dude and they're an amazing family. So getting over to see Callum again will be brilliant. So happy that he beat George Groves. And I like George Groves. I'm nothing against George Groves, but I was so happy to see Callum win the Muhammad Ali trophy and finally become the best in the division as far as I'm concerned. Although what a division that super middleweight division is. There's a lot of good fights in there for him to make. Cameron's going ALISSON, TRENT, Lovren, Van Dijk, Robbo, Gini, Milner, Keita, Salah, Bobby and Mane. Megan Anki said a win at Napoli will see us well on the way to the knockout stages. Craig, hope our fans are safe in Naples. Yes, thank you, Stephen. That reminds me, I do have something to read on that one. Right, so Liverpool have posted, bear with me. So Liverpool have posted some advice for travelling Reds who are heading over to Naples for the game against Napoli on Wednesday. Now I'm going to go to what I have written down here because I want to give out the right advice. So if there's any Reds that are heading over, I'm sure you've read this on the Liverpool website. If you haven't, go on there. There's more detail than I'm going to give out here. And they give advice on where to go, pick up points, all that stuff for any Reds travelling over to Naples for the game. There's also stuff about if anybody has flags or banners that they want to bring to the game. I seen a tweet earlier on that you have to apparently send in an image of it to the club. Again, have a look on Twitter. There's a few things on there. I'm not best placed to give you all the information. I just have some of it here. So I'm going to read out what I have and I hope it helps somebody if they're heading over. Right, so kick-off time at the Stadio San Paolo is 9 PM local time, 8 PM UK time. The turnstiles will open at 5 o'clock local time. Liverpool supporters are strongly advised not to make their own route to the stadium due to risks to their personal safety. So listen to what you're being told here, guys. Liverpool supporters are strongly advised not to make their own route to the stadium due to a risk to their personal safety. Any travelling supporter should meet at the Piazza Municipio, where a series of shuttle buses will be provided to and from the stadium. Supporters are advised to arrive in plenty of time at the shuttle bus meeting point to facilitate searches and ticket checks. Please note that this is subject to change at the discretion of the Italian authorities. Up-to-date information will be published by LFC on the FCO website. All supporters must continuously check for updates to ensure that they have the most accurate information. And the final thing I have here for you guys is supporters are strongly advised not to use the underground or bus services under any circumstances. So I'll just go back over that one again. Supporters are strongly advised not to use the underground or bus services under any circumstances. Supporters should also refrain from walking alone in the city and or wearing shirts, scarves or anything else that identifies them as Liverpool fans. Fans travelling by car or bus on the A1 highway will find a gathering point at, I'm going to spell this one out because I'm not even going to be able to pronounce it, Sottosezzione, Polizia Stradale Napoli. So it must be a police station or something, but again, apologies, I couldn't pronounce that even if I tried. Where police officers will give further instructions or, if necessary, escort vehicles to the stadium. So please, guide anybody heading over, please take heed to what's being said there. Go on to the Liverpool website, read the information on there. I'm just trying to think of where that tweet was. Tony Barrett. It was Tony Barrett that had the tweet up about the flags and banners. So if you're on Twitter, check out Tony Barrett's account and you'll get more information on that if you're heading over flags and banners. Anyone that is heading over, enjoy the game. I'm sure it'll be a great night on Wednesday. Please be safe. Heed the advice of both the authorities and what Liverpool are saying. We want everybody to go over there and enjoy themselves, but of course we don't want anyone to be injured. We don't want any reoccurrences of similar things that have happened, guys. So just enjoy yourselves, listen to what you're being told, and hopefully the Reds get a great result. Right, guys, back into the chat. Apologies, somebody just reminded me there and I felt like I had to read that out. Napoli's ultras are ruthless, said Paul. Good night, Revenite, mate. You have to bear in mind that Liverpool are away, said Kieran Bailey. You have your opinion in staying quiet with deleted messages getting rammed down me throat. I've no idea what that's about, Paul, mate. Haven't got a clue. I'm going to stay out of that conversation because it might be just between you and somebody else. Going to the Napoli match is like going to the Thunderdome, said Squisms. It's I'm not gonna lie, any away in Italy for me will be a nerve-wracking experience after some of the things I've read and heard. Yeah, I would listen to everything you're being advised if I was a red heading over. If you're talking to me, I deleted my messages because of autocorrect. Oh, again, I've no idea if that's to do with and Paul having a go at each other. Paul Curson said, wish I was going to the game. Anyone see the video of the tunnel down to the Naps pitch? Looks mega intimidating. That wasn't Napoli's pitch, mate. That was Red Star Belgrade. And that tunnel has been jazzed up a little bit since. It's got a lick of white paint. The lighting's been improved. And they've put some AstroTurf down for the players to walk along. But yeah, I've seen the video you're talking about of that tunnel into the Red Star Belgrade Stadium, and it looked fucking scary at the time. Kieran said, if you're going over to the game, hashtag stay safe. Louis going for ALISSON, Trent, Gomez, Van Dijk, Robbo, Wijnaldum, Keita, Milner, Shaqiri, Sturridge and Mane, and give Firmino and Salah a rest. Larry said, so not all Irishmen can sing then? Oh mate, I'm fucking shocking. Absolutely, I cannot hold a note in my head, honest to God. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you need a bit of lubrication, maybe a few pints loosens things up or something, I don't know. But yeah, this Irishman certainly can't sing. My mistake, said Paul. Yeah, no worries, mate. I agree with you though. I seen that video. It was Vice Sports or something. The video, it looked fucking scary. And then when they went out towards the film beforehand, there was fucking killings going on inside the stadium and the match hadn't even started. They were ripping up seats and attacking the police and stuff, and I'd be fucking petrified. I don't think there'd be many half and half fucking scarves doing the rounds anyway. Fuck's sake, those things, whoever invented those things needs a slap across the head, honest to God. Fucking half and half scarves. Have you ever heard the likes of it? Jesus Christ. Right guys, do you know what? I think we are going to leave it there for tonight. We could bring Cara on just in case at the Raptor. I'll be back tomorrow and we'll have a proper look ahead to the game on Wednesday against Napoli. Guys, don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already, or if you're watching this on playback or new to the channel. And to those of you that are already here, before you head off, please hit that like button. It means a lot to us. We'll be back tomorrow at 10 o'clock, so the same time. And for anybody asking, we will be doing a watch along of the game against Napoli on Wednesday night. We'll be on air about 30 minutes before the game kicks off, so hope to have you with us for that one as well. And last shout for our competition, with thanks to our friends at Score a Draw. Jump over to the Anfield Agenda Twitter account at Anfield Agenda. We've a pinned tweet on there with all the details of how to enter the competition. We're giving away any of the LFC retro shirts you want from the Score Draw collection. So best of luck to anyone that enters. We'll be announcing the winner on Wednesday after the Napoli game. Again guys, thank you to everybody for another great stream. I really enjoyed coming on here. You guys are all legends. Thank you for bearing with me on a few things as well. We'll talk to you tomorrow and up the motherfucking Reds.